to talk to you a little bit about Pathways to Memory and what this program is. Pathways to Memory is available through my company, HomeWatch Caregivers. It is a targeted memory enhancement program. Now, the background of the program, there was a HomeWatch office back in New York, and the director there, she was looking for something more than just comforting those with Alzheimer's disease. What was missing was helping the person directly. She had read the research, in particular a study at Washington University in St. Louis, which showed that people's brains maintain functioning levels of implicit memory similar to other people in the population. Now, implicit memory is a little different than your short-term memory. Implicit memory is that relatively unconscious automatic memory. It's the information that sort of pops into your head without deliberate effort. So it's important for feeding yourself, dressing, speaking. Those things that we see people with Alzheimer's disease in later stages, that's what they really start to lose. And that's one of the things that causes a lot of the bad behaviors that we have. Clients who have participated in Pathways to Memory, they have demonstrated an increase in their ADL abilities. They have greater attention span. They become more alert and engaged. They have a decrease in disruptive behaviors. They're more independent. I can tell you one of the first people that we put on Pathways to Memory was my own mother. And I'll just give you what happened with her. We started in, it was like December of last year, not just last December, but December before. And she started on the program, and it really takes, we've learned, several weeks before you can start seeing benefit. The program is a scheduled training that includes certain activities and exercises we'll talk about in a minute. So we got into this program. My mom and dad, who've now both been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, come over to my house for Sunday dinner. And the typical routine had been, they'd come in, sit on the couch, and there they would sit until it was time for dinner. And then we'd escort them into the kitchen, sit down at the table, and we'd have dinner together. Dinner's done, they would simply leave. We noticed after about 6 weeks, my wife mentioned it to me. She said, "Look at the difference in your mother. Mom wasn't sitting on the couch anymore. She was out, what can I do to help?" And she was washing potatoes, and she was setting the table, and she was clearing the table, and she was participating in the activities. We went through 12 weeks of the program, and my Pathways partner, my trainer, Barbara, who's sitting in the back here, she can answer lots of questions afterward. She had to go get a knee replaced, and so we stopped the program. And then Mom had a series of small heart attacks. She was in and out of the hospital over a couple of weeks. And about a month after we finished, at Sunday dinner, Mom was back on the couch. And there she sat until Barbara got her knees fixed. The knees got replaced, the program got started, and Mom was back helping prepare dinner. So it really impacted her function. She went from sleeping a good part of the day, although she would tell you she never took a nap. She was always on the couch, and she would sleep, and she would complain, and she was depressed, and she's not like that anymore. So we continued this program with her over the last year and a half. The sessions with Pathways are done by, we call Pathways partners. They're trained in just how to deal with somebody with dementia. Behavior intervention, communication techniques. What we set up are 2-hour sessions 3 times a week. This is what we did at the Sunrise study. They go for 12 weeks. Now, in this initial study we're talking about, we only went for 6 weeks. At the end of 6 weeks, that's when we start seeing some real improvement. At the end of 12 weeks is where we see remarkable improvement. And so what we'll be talking about is significant improvement, but we only got halfway there. When we do the program, we encourage family members to participate with us, or staff members to participate, so that they can learn how to do this. What we found as far as implementing this is that facilities often don't have enough staff, don't have enough time to focus the amount of time that it really requires to make this thing happen. It's something that anybody can really do if you are, number one, trained, and if, number two, you have the time and the staff to do it. The program consists of 7 different components. The components are utilized based upon the individual need of the person. We do testing in the beginning. In this case, Dave Larson from the Alzheimer's Association did the testing in the beginning. He did the testing at the end. Normally, we do that ourselves, but we wanted to have something that a little more objective than one of our own caregivers doing it. But we look at place and name recognition, time and place orientation, object manipulation, attention span, cognitive process, memory concentration, executive function, abstract thinking, and then we do homework to get people, family members, staff members, to keep the process going. In measuring the outcome, we generally use the Mini Mental Status Evaluation, MMSE, which is standard that everybody uses. We also use a 7-minute screen. Dave will talk about, he used a little bit different testing. I think he used the MMSE and then the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. He'll talk about that. But the outcomes are startling. Not necessarily because somebody starts remembering everything that happens around them, but because their moods, their behaviors, they're affected. They become happier. They become more compliant. They start remembering those implicit memory sort of functions like dressing, like bathing, like going to the toilet on their own. In this study, we had a little meeting with staff and family, and it was the comments were just remarkable. It even affected other people in this facility, and I think Debbie's going to talk about this. It wasn't just the people who participated in the study that were positively affected, but those that they interacted with as well. So I want to get into sort of the meat of this. Pathways to Memory is just a wonderful program, and it is fairly unique in addressing not the comfort of the person with Alzheimer's, but the disease that they have so that they can function and hopefully not have their disease really take them further than it has to. Because what we found in lots of studies is a person can have the disease, and there may not be a way that you can avoid getting the disease, but the symptoms of the disease are controllable. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Dave.